I just sent him to patrol the southern ravine fields. If you're looking for him, I'd try somewhere around the Brarywine Bridge. If he's not there, just follow the road east for a little bit. See you.
What are you doing out here? I didn't send for aid. Did he now? So, you were seeking my endorsement. I don't know if you've looked around, but there's not a lot you can help with. The ruffians and goblins typically steer clear of this place, mostly because I am always walking out here. However, if you're looking just to talk, I have plenty of time. I suppose if Thorman had dispatched me somewhere eventful, I may not welcome inane conversation. However, this is the third time he's assigned me this route, and it's one of the safest roads in the Shire. Come now, there is much that can be discussed as we patrol. Do you know why we're losing the Shire, Outlander? It's not because we lack manpower or strength. We are 5 rangers strong, 6 should you pass the trials. But even 5 rangers is an excessive amount for an area such as this. In reality, 2 rangers could protect this land, 3 could do it with ease, and 4 would be near overkill. Yet this is not the case here, for reasons the others refuse to think about. I know what you would assume, that it is an issue with skill. The rangers here are young for their race and are limited in their abilities. A fair observation, we are some of the youngest of the Nunamorians, all gathered here to carry out a job that should be relatively easy. But where skill is considered, we are still rangers, and we can fight as well as the best of them. Well, unlike the others, I've actually been digging into this, trying to find our problem and solution to it as well. Want to hear it? Of course you don't, but that's not going to stop my ranting. It's purely strategy. We spend far too long reporting progress back to our captain, or waiting for the captain's approval before we do anything. That was great when there was 1 goblin sighting a month, but now that more pop up every day, we're just wasting time. We need to work independently, use our own instinct and judgment when it comes to making decisions. After all, if we're all thinking exactly what the captain's thinking, are any of us actually thinking at all? What happens should Thorman fall? Nobody would know what to do, the rangers would be in total chaos and we'd be struck down one by one. Sure, Biasel could take over the leadership role, but she's a second in command and always will be. Unrivaled as the support staff, lousy as the leader. Just don't tell her I said that. Over the last weeks, we've seen more goblins and bandits in the Shire than we ever did in the last 100 years. It is clear that if we're going to survive, we need to change our approach a little. Problem is, Thorman's a stubborn one, and all my attempts at convincing him have fallen short. It feels pointless sometimes, like a beauty salon in a dwarven city. That's a decent analogy. Might use that later. Hold it. Do you see what that man ahead of us is doing? He's studying the village below, looking for possible invasion points and weaknesses in the guard's patrol. A scout of the enemies, no doubt. Alright, outsider. You wanted my trust. Go talk to him. I want to observe how you would handle a situation like this.
Oh no. I remember you. You're the one from Halflinton. The one who tried getting in between me and my partner's business transaction. What do you want now? I ain't buying it. There's always something suspicious about you. Know what the problem is with vigilantes like you? You're always getting into everyone else's business. One day that's gonna get you killed. Just buzz off if you know what's good for you. What? No, impossible. You're trying to play me for a fool. Of course you think I'll be too scared to fight, don't you? What other Oh, you're right. He's a ranger for sure. I can tell by his height and by that look in his eyes. Let's get something clear. I ain't want nothing to do with no rangers. We got no quarrel, you and I, right? We can be civil about this whole thing. I'll just leave. You'll be okay with that, right? Right. Of course. See ya.
I wouldn't suggest advertising your position as a ranger in the future. It could attract unneeded attention. However, Outlander, you've done better than expected and proven that you can take proper action when necessary. When Thorman gathers us to perform your initiation, you can count on my support.
Oh no. What do you want now? What? I'm not sure what you're trying to accomplish with this. I'm just gonna head out now. Done here anyway.
I'll admit, I was not expecting you to handle it that way. Unfortunately, he'll be back. You may have surprised him a bit, but it's nothing that'll make him think twice about his work. That said, you didn't waste your time trying to reason with him either. A lesser person may have attempted a bribe or something. Alright, Outlander, you've proven you can take proper action when necessary, and thus I believe I can trust you.
Oh, what do you want now? All right. You ain't got to tell me twice. I can tell when I ain't wanted. See ya.
Very nice. Couldn't have handled it much better than that myself. He'll think twice about his work from this point forward, that's for sure. Alright, Outlander. You've done better than expected, and proven you can take proper action when necessary.
What do you want now? Fine by me. I enjoy getting paid for not doing anything. I hope we meet again in the future. Could be mutually beneficial.
You bribed him. You realize that accomplished nothing, right? He'll use the money to his master's plans, and then he'll be right back here tomorrow. Definitely not how I would have handled it. But you did get rid of him, I suppose. Perhaps it was wrong to expect more from him.
Yes? He's sharpening his skills in the Windbale Woods. It's quieter up there and provides a nice location for one to think in solitude without worry of being interrupted. We've got a small training area in the northwest there. If you're looking to gain his trust, that's where I'd start. All right then.
You've come. This is good. It means you're at least capable of navigating a dense forest by yourself. Although I will admit I expected you here sooner. Are you ready to begin? Yes, it is. If that sounds too childish, you can call it a pine-elevated mini-fortress. It provides an excellent view of the surrounding area and the advantage of high ground against anyone foolish enough to attack us. As a ranger, the elevation makes me feel right at home. A lot more than that hideout does, at least. I'm pleased in a way, for I built this area with that very intention. But I can bore you with talk of my architecture any day. How about it? Are you ready? We're sparring. Buyer sale didn't tell you that? Then you and I have something in common after all. Some people read others through their words, some through their intentions. Others prefer to look at the actions themselves. I am of the last group. An action such as combat is the one form to which a man will reveal his true self, through the movements of his blade. mercy, anger, fear, regret. They will all show in battle. You cannot hide them. I am curious how you'll react when under such pressure. At the end of our time here, you will have either gained my trust or my wrath. Either way, my opinion of you will not remain the same. That's too bad, because we're starting. Rules are simple. I'll let you know when I've seen enough. Until then, we try to kill each other. You can use whatever kind of weapon you wish. Magic, swords, hammers, bows, I don't care.
You pollute this land with your presence. You won't like me when I'm angry. Unbelievable. You managed to sneak a strike in.
Are you all right? I may have gotten a little carried away. Still, you managed to stay up longer than most who come blade to blade with me. And there was nothing notably suspicious about the way you handled yourself. All right, you have my respect, friend. When the time comes, I will speak on your behalf. All right then.
Yes? I was wondering when you were going to ask. Do you have time to talk? Well, not here. I'm not sure such topics should be discussed inside a cave, where the purpose of our quest is not easily seen. There's a place in the south that provides a nice view of the Shire. I think, as we discuss this, it would be best to clearly see the land we strive to protect. Perhaps then you will have a better understanding of why we're here. Glad you understand. I'll mark the location on your map and meet you there. Sure. What do you want? Ah, there you are. Care to take a seat? All right then. All right, we should begin as soon as possible. Thorman wasn't a huge fan of my bringing you out here, given the time it would take. But I convinced him it was necessary. My one request here is that you take this seriously and remain honest throughout the entirety of our time. Do you have any questions before we begin? Until I'm satisfied with your answers. If you want to get this over quickly, I would suggest answering each question truthfully and without acting like a fool. Take some time and look out into the Shire. Then tell me what you see. Beyond that, look deeper. You were asked to remain serious, remember? Please rethink your answer. And what is the... Wait, were you... Please, just answer the question correctly. And such a fragile thing that is. Times are tough for us rangers, and some believe we are without hope. Referencing what you know, what are your thoughts on this matter? So you admire our courage, but doubt our strength? I'll admit I have felt the same way before, but we must not discard hope in sole favour of rationality. For hope is often the only asset our enemy overlooks, and despite our other skills, it is the only real advantage we have over them. I didn't say it wasn't. We can't afford to tie our hands by only clinging to hope, but we can't push back the darkness without it. I think I've learned what I needed from this. One last topic and we'll be done. It is important that I know a little more about you, if my complete trust is to be given. Tell me about the land you are from, this Skyrim. Do you have many responsibilities there? Am I supposed to know what that means? Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. This is still a serious discussion after all. A college of mages? So you're like a wizard of sorts. That could be helpful later on. Anything else? You can sing then. I think we have some songbooks in our library back at the base. You're welcome to them if you wish. Anything else? What exactly are these companions of which you speak? So, you have experience indeed similar to that of the Rangers. I suspected as much. Anything else? Thieves' Guild. A handful of burglars hardly sound like they could run an effective guild. However, you do still steal, do you not? I fail to see how one can make exceptions based upon the amount of coin their victim has. But, so long as you keep those skills in Skyrim, it is no concern of mine. You have quite the impressive resume there. Well, I'd love to stay and talk longer, but I think that's about all the time I can spare here. I've come now to understand you a little better, and with that you have earned what little trust you did not own already. When Thormin gathers us for your initiation, I will be the first to speak on your behalf. See you.